Hello guys, this is Sandra here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It's lovely to have you here and I hope you're gonna enjoy your time. So today I'm gonna test out a bunch of new affordable stuff. I don't want to say drugstore because, well, you can get e.l.f. in a drugstore. I'm not sure you can get the whole range, or, well, I couldn't find it. But if you want to see what I bought and why and all that, I'm gonna link that video here. And without much blabbering, we're gonna just jump into the video. So the first thing I'm gonna do is something I don't normally do. I don't normally start with my brows, but I'm a bit scared of this product because when I was swatching it in my haul video, it tinted my hands and it didn't really come off. So I'm gonna go with the brows first, so if I mess it up, I can cover it with concealer. And first I'm gonna go in with the Revolution Soap Brow. It comes with a really interesting little brush. It's not like a normal spatula, it's like a little toothbrush. And I have to say, it's quite hard, but then this product is, well, it's like a soap. Smells super perfumey, and it says that you need to wet your brush. So I'm gonna spritz it with a setting spray, which is the Revolution Glass Glow Fix. I can talk. So I'm gonna, because I can't be bothered to, you know, stand up and actually wet it. So let's see. Jesus, it's a hard product. It's doing something to it though. And I never tried the actual soap brow trend, so I don't know. I've seen obviously how it looks, okay. But I never tried it myself, so I coated the brush like so. I'm not sure how much you can see, and I assume I have to do this first before I'm giving my brows some color. And this is my better brow, but let's start with this. I might try it with an actual spoolie on the other end, see if it makes a difference, because I feel like it's leaving little chunks of soap in my brow, but I have to say it does seem like it sticks them down. That's good. Huh. I would quite happily leave my brow just like that. But, you know. For the sake of this, let me get a clean spoolie. And I'm gonna spritz this. Oh, the setting spray has quite a strong scent to it as well. Okay, I'm gonna then go in with this. Try to get some product on it. Which I think I did. Hard to tell. Okay, I think I did. I feel it works quite the same way, but the spoolie actually doesn't feel like it's scratching off my skin. Okay, now I feel like my skin didn't really get much product on it, so that's good. Okay, I might keep using it with a spoolie because also this way I don't see like little white bits, and I don't know how long this takes to dry, so let me give it a few minutes. See if it dries down, and then we can go in with the Revolution, does it have a name? Brow pen in dark brown. While we're waiting, I'm just gonna sip on my coffee. That's an iced coffee, and there's no ice cubes anymore because it's so hot in the UK for the past few days. And it's really classy, it's in a cider glass. So, you know, whatever works. Alright, so it's been a few minutes, it's mostly dried down now, but I want to say though, I feel like this could be a really good product if you have a lot of brows and you just want to stick them down. The packaging is quite luxe, like it has a nice size mirror, it has a, you know, nice click. I mean, it will collect fingerprints like there's no tomorrow, but it's always the same with these shiny packages. But the packaging is really good quality, the product so far seems nice as well. The only thing I'm not sure about is the brush, but, you know, that's fine, you can just use any other old spoolie that you have around. And now we're gonna go in with the pen. That scares me a bit because I'm not really, I think, precise enough for this. I don't know, it has like a really interesting flexible brush tip. So let's see. I think I will just try to do some brow strokes, which is a bit different from how I normally do my brows. Also, I think this color might be a bit too warm for my skin. Oh yeah, definitely too warm. Okay, this is not going to become an everyday brow product. Maybe I should see if I like it, if in store they have different colors that might be better suited for me, because this is definitely way too red. Oh, I don't like how red my brows are. Okay, it's not going to be a full-on filling in day because it makes my eyebrows look super red. It's not bad though. Let me see if I can zoom in more so you can see what I mean. Can you see how much more red this brow is than that one? I feel like if you have a light brown or like more reddy hair, even maybe if you're, I don't know if it's going to be red enough if you're a redhead, but maybe. Let me show you what I meant by a bendy tip. Look, can you see how it like bends? But then you can also do like really fine strokes with it. That's a really weird angle, but there you go. You really can do fine strokes with it. Yeah, it's just not the right color for me. And let me try to take it off quickly because it dries and then it doesn't go anywhere. So that's a good thing. If you find a color that works for you, it's going to be super long lasting because look at my hand, it's already dry and it's not going anywhere. But then again, I feel like if you're a beginner, this might not be the product for you because if you mess up your brows, it will be hard to cover it up. But let me even up my other eyebrow. And yeah, I think it's a bit too warm for me, but the pen itself, I actually quite like. I have a few brow hairs that are stuck together. I never used the soap brow as I mentioned, so might have a bit of a learning curve with it. Also, I wonder if later I might want to brush through a cool tone eyebrow gel on this because I feel it's a really warm tone. Altogether, I think both of them are good products, but with soap brows I think there might be a learning curve, and while with this one I love the pen, I think the color is not working for me. So if you can find a color that works, I think this can be a really good product. But again, if you are just beginning to play around with your brows, this might not be the best. But I like both. Again, with this I'm just not really getting on with the color, but let's see how it looks once I have everything on. And if I still think it's too warm, maybe I can try to go over it with like a tinted brow gel and try to make it better. But that's all I have for the brows. And for my eyelids, I have two eyeshadow palettes from e.l.f. They are both the bite-size palettes, Jalapeno, and this one is Gorgeous Berries? Berry Bed, sorry. Don't know where that came from. So we're going to try one on each eye, and I didn't get an eyeshadow primer, and I don't want to use the concealer I got just because that's a hydrating concealer. So we're going to go in with my usual Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer just because I know how eyeshadows should work on top of this. And first we're going to go in with the berry shades just because those I work with a lot more normally, so I feel like I get a better understanding of how the shadows work. And then we can use the green one on the other eye. And I'm going to try to use the brushes I got from e.l.f. as well. See how they work. So what's interesting to me is that I understand that all shadow palettes, let me hold them up for you, go from a lightest to darkest. But in this one, the lightest and the darkest are matte, whereas in this one, the two lightest are shimmers and then the two darker ones are matte. So it's interesting how each palette is built up slightly differently. But again, let's go in first with the berry. And I got two brushes from e.l.f. And I found a dupe for each in my collection. Now for the little one, it's another no-name. e.l.f. is not a no-name brand, but this is just from a no-name brush set from Amazon, and it's called Fake Face. Now I don't know anything about them, so I don't know if they're cruelty-free or not. I bought this years ago, but it's the same kind of small blending brush. They are super similar, so we're gonna use one of each on each eye. And then the other one that I got, oh, and by the way, this one from e.l.f. I'm all over the place, I'm sorry, it's so hot. So the first one is the eye crease brush. And then the other one is really similar but slightly bigger. It's the blending eye brush, and it's almost the same as the Luxe Eye Blender 225 from Zoeva. They are super similar. The Zoeva is maybe a touch bigger, but they are so close to each other. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. ones on one eye and then the Zoeva and my Fake Face one on the other eye. And these feel super soft, especially the one that's close to the Zoeva one. I would say the Zoeva one is almost the same, well, for the feel of it, and I washed both of these as well before using them to see if it loses any hairs, and so far they didn't shed, so for £1 or £2, whatever it was, so you know, super inexpensive. So if these work, and so far they didn't shed, so it's a good start. But anyway, first let's go in with the berry palette, and I'm gonna use the light matte shade in the crease with the e.l.f. blending eye brush. And there's a bit of fallout in the pen as I swirl them around, quite a bit to see, but again, if you tap it off, as long as it blends on the eye, it should not be a problem. I really want to get some eyeshadow primers because I don't have many, so I'm thinking of picking up some. Please leave your favorite ones in the comment below. I don't really mind a price tag, just I want to try a few different ones because I only have the Urban Decay ones. Okay, it blends out nicely. It's quite subtle to start with. I'm sure we will be able to build it up. Oh yeah. I'm not sure how much this will come through on your skin if you have a deeper skin tone. But so far on a lighter skin tone it works beautifully. Brush is nice as well. Then I'm gonna move in for the smaller brush for now and tap it in the darkest matte shade. And I'm gonna patch a little bit of it on the outside. Okay, that's a nice berry shade. And then a little bit of it on the inner corner as well. And on the top I will just start blending it with this brush for now. I think this brush could work really nicely if you want to blend a color really precisely in the crease, but as long as you use stepping motions, you can also use it to pat product on the eyelid. And on the inner corner it applied really nicely. It looks a little bit patchy on the outer corner, but we can work with it. I'm gonna go back in a little bit more, and interestingly this darker shade doesn't seem to be as kickbacky, if it makes sense. There doesn't seem to be much fallout really in the pen, or on my eye for that matter, so far. So that's good. And I have to say, you can go, you know, that intricate with these palettes. There's only 4 shades after all, but I think you can, at least with these palettes, both get a full eye look and you can get a few different variations. You can do a halo eye like I do. You can just use, you know, the lighter shade in the crease and then go from lightest to darkest on your lid. Okay, I think that's enough blending for now. Now I will have to reach for other brushes as well, but that's alright. So I'm gonna take a flat brush and dip it in the dark shimmery shade and apply it next to where we left off the dark one. Oh, that applies so nicely. After I'm done with this, I'm going to swatch them on my fingers for you as well, even though I swatched it in the whole video. But just so you can see. And I'm going to take the one we used in the crease and just blend over once again. And now the lightest shade, which is slightly coppery, I'm going to take with my finger. Oh, so nice. And pat it in the middle. Oh my god, it's so nice. And it gives you a really subtle halo eye in a few minutes. Let me just blend it there again. Yeah, that works beautifully. And done. Subtle halo eye in literally like 2 minutes. And my boyfriend is doing something in the kitchen. Sorry. But look how subtle and beautiful it is at the same time. You can throw on a liner and you're done. Look at that. So nice. And I will throw in a liner as well. So because again I spent over £25, they gave me 2 gifts. And one of them was this brown eyeliner. It doesn't say anything on it, but I think it's just like a brown kohl liner. So I'm gonna draw a really subtle line. Yeah, that applied really nicely, super creamy. It comes with a little sharpener at the end as well, which I'm personally not a big fan of, but you know, some people might like it and think it's practical, so there's nothing wrong with that. So far I'm really impressed. I just want to blend a little bit more on the outer corner. I want this to have a bit more of a rounded shape. Okay, I'm really happy with that. I don't think it comes across that nicely on camera. In real life, it's so pretty. So I'm gonna just quickly prime my other eyelid and then we're off. Let me have coffee while he's using the blender. You done? Nope. So let me show you a finger swatch of the other palette I forgot. Look at that. I mean, the lighter one is hard to see, but they are such beautiful shadows. And then here are some swatches of the green. Oh, can't wait to put this on my eyes. So pretty, and it goes a bit better with my shirt as well. So we're gonna go in with similar brushes. So first I'm going in with the Ziva Luxe Eye Blender and the light green shade and blend it all out in the crease. And oh my god, why is this creasing so quickly today? I think it's because it's so hot. Oh wow, okay. Looks a tiny bit darker on the eye, I think, than it looks in the pen. Yeah, a little bit maybe. Maybe not. It's a lovely shade. Okay, that blends out nicely. I don't think I'm gonna build it up more for now either. Why is the camera focusing on my ear? Hello. I feel like I need to start letting my hair down because the camera keeps focusing on my ear. Hold on. Alright, that might help the matters. Now I just look like a lion. Great. So, next we're gonna go in with a small brush and dip it in the dark shade, and I think this will be super pigmented, so I'm gonna try to be careful with it and pat it. Let's start on the outer corner. Such a nice deep green color. And a little bit of blending. And then we can go back in with the Zoeva brush. I can talk that we used first. And so far it bends? No, it doesn't bend, it blends. It blends beautifully. I think I'm going to go back in a little bit with the lighter green. And I feel like with this one, I need to go in with a clean brush. So it's just a huge fluffy brush. And blend on the top a bit. Just because I don't really have a lighter color to blend that other green out with. But you don't need to, just take a clean brush and it's so much better already. And then I'm gonna go back in with the dark shade a little bit. Just to make it a bit more intense. And just blend it in with the same brush. Just feel like these ones require a little bit more blending than the berry one, but there's nothing wrong with that. Feels a little bit patchy here. I'm not sure how much you can tell. Sometimes these come across slightly different on camera. It's a little bit patchy, but nothing too bad. And if my eyes are open because of my slightly hooded eyes, you can tell it anyway. Okay, now we're gonna go in with that beautiful light green shade again. I'm just gonna take a flat brush on that shade and apply it where the dark green ends. Now again, these don't blend in together as nicely as the burgundy, but it's just because there's a bigger shade difference. So I'm gonna take the Ziva brush and just pat over them. Oh, it's a beautiful shade though. Oh, it's so nice. That all over the lid. And then I'm gonna take my finger, dip it in the gold and dip it in the middle. Oh my god, the pigmentation on this. Ooh, look at that. And I'm just gonna take the Ziva brush and blend. Those glitters, oh my god, I'm so impressed. Look at that. I feel like I want to go back in with my finger and re-dip it in the burgundy as well and see if I can re-intensify it, and I can. Beautiful. Now I had a tiniest bit of fallout from that and that did not work. Look at that green. So I'm gonna just apply the brown eyeliner there as well, and then we can move on to my complexion. Okay, just wanted to zoom you in quickly. Look at that green. Oh my god. Beautiful. I love that green. I love the burgundy too, but I'm surprised at how much I love this. So far, I'm really impressed with these two. I feel like they are beautiful on their own as well, but you can definitely use these as great companion palettes for just any nude palette, especially with this one. If you have a warm tone palette, like let's say the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air would be perfect with the berry one especially. Then both of these work really well with the Natasha Denona Mini Star palette, or again, if you have any natural eyeshadow palettes and you just want a few little pops of color, these will work beautifully for that. I really love them so far, but for now let's move on to complexion. Primer wise, I got the infamous, or actually it's quite famous, e.l.f. Poreless Petite Primer. And I'm really excited to try this, so I'm gonna take a little bit on my finger, that's quite a lot, and blend it around my nose. I picked up the original just because I didn't want to pick up the matte or the illuminating one when I don't really know how the original works to start with. Okay, I need a little bit more, because this is the area where I have a few little pores. Okay, that feels quite nice. And with pore filling primers, I'm always afraid that they're gonna be too slippery, but this one is just slippery the right amount. Let's see how it keeps the foundation on right. I wanted to film this video yesterday, but I was not in the right mindset at all. I was like, I'm gonna film, and then 2 seconds later, no, and then I'm gonna film. And it's a shame because I had these products waiting for me for about a week now, and I either didn't have the time, or I don't know what was going on this week. I was just not feeling it at all, and usually I'm jumping at any chance to film makeup. So I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna film it when I'm not in the right headspace, because then it's gonna be boring for you if I'm just sitting here being grumpy. And also, I was so excited to try most of these products, especially since all of these brands like e.l.f. Makeup Revolution, No. 7, Flower Beauty, all these brands are ones that I haven't really played around a lot with. So I'm like, no, I need to film it when I'm in the right headspace. So here we go. I'm like, let me throw this back, but I'm like, no, because then the camera will focus on my ears. So I need to keep it here. I wonder if that's why so many YouTubers film with their hair down. Maybe. Or maybe I just don't know how to use my camera, or a bit of both. But foundation wise, I got the No. 7 Hydra Luminous Moisturizing Foundation. And we'll see if the color is right. It might be a bit too pinky, but we'll see. We'll make it work. It's in the shade Calico, and it's supposed to be a medium coverage foundation suitable for sensitive skin, visibly fresh and radiant skin, and it has medium coverage, I think I said that, and SPF 15. Now SPF in foundation, I'm never sure how I feel about, because I feel like in the winter it might be enough, but in the summer when you're out and about, you don't use as much foundation as you would use SPF. So I would still say you need SPF separately, but you know, that's just me. I'm gonna go in with the Real Techniques Instapop Cheek Brush, which I love for foundation, and let's just apply it to half of my face first. I'm so annoyed as well because my skin has been really nice recently. Ooh, that's really luminous. And then my, you know, my period is around, and now I have these 2-3 breakouts in the chin area, which is lovely. Okay, because it's super liquidy, I feel like I need more than what I would normally use. But let's apply a bit more. The color is actually not too bad. And let's see. It's a little bit more pink than what I normally would go for. But they didn't have a huge selection in my boots. So I don't think generally they have a huge shade selection, but when it's light coverage, I would say it doesn't matter. As soon as it's medium coverage, it's a bit more important. The higher the coverage, the more important it is to get a good shade match, but it's not horrible, as you can see. it's nothing I can get away with. And if you look at that side of my face, it's a lot more glowy. I mean, my skin has a little bit of a dewiness to it anyway, which is nice. But this side is definitely a lot more dewy than that side. And I would actually say it covered up the redness there quite nicely. You can still see it, but it did cover it up pretty decently. So actually I think I do agree with the medium coverage claims. I would say it's more like on the lighter side of medium still, but it feels pretty light on the skin. I had a teeniest bit of redness on the cheeks like on this side, and it covered it up, so it's not bad. The color is not the best, but we can deal with that. Only thing I would say though, I feel like I need a lot of this. I need to go back with more. Maybe next time I can try it with a beauty blender. I just don't want to stand up in a wet one now. And also generally lately I prefer a brush. I just find it quicker. And I think this one was around £15, so it's still definitely on the higher price end of the drugstore. I feel like number 7 products generally are, like they are not necessarily the cheapest brand in the drugstore. Okay, that's not bad. Again, the shade is not the best, but it's not something I cannot make work, and look how dewy my skin is. It is definitely super luminous. Light to medium coverage. I would not say it's buildable beyond that point, but it is nice. So I'm quite happy with this. Again, this is a Hydra Luminous Moisturizing Foundation. The only thing, again, I feel like I needed a lot of this for some reason. And I used this brush before, so I don't think it's the brush. I don't know why I need it so much. Don't know why I keep obsessively going back to this. Now, concealer, I'm super excited because I've heard a few people talking about this. And it's the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. And it's supposed to be a satin finish, and I got the shade Fair Beige, which was one of the lightest ones. And it's huge. That's the first thing I noticed. Like, it's quite a similar size to my Tarte Shape Tape. But then if you look at it next to, like, the Collection Lasting Perfection, it's a lot thicker. How much product does this have in it? Does it say? No, it doesn't say in the bottle. But it seems huge. And I'm gonna just apply, again, it comes with a lovely doe foot applicator, and what I noticed it when I swatched it as well, it picks up a lot of product. Oh, yeah, that was a lot. So one dip will be more than enough. I'm gonna put it a bit there. It seems like a fairly good color, so we're gonna go with that. And I'm gonna blend it in with the Eco Tools, I'm not sure, I think it is a concealer brush, but I'm not sure what it's called. So under my eyes, I'm gonna go in with this. I think I could have gone a little bit lighter, but again, this was almost the lightest shade. Shade range didn't seem too bad though online. I'm gonna go over with my finger and pat it in. Yeah, I think I could have gone for something a bit more brightening, but that's okay. It's roughly the same color as my skin, so once I get a bit of a tan, maybe this will be a bit more brightening. At the moment, it's roughly the same color as my skin. So if you're super pale, I think you will struggle finding one that will brighten on you. Feels nice though. Doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't look cakey at all. Blend it in nicely. Now I'm gonna pat this in with the foundation brush on my face. Apart from adding extra coverage in these areas, it didn't really brighten once I blended it in, so didn't really do anything else. Now I'm gonna go in with the cream blush next before setting my face. And I got the Flower Beauty Blush Balm Color Drops for Cheeks. And I actually tried it the other day on my lips as a lip stain. I haven't tried it on my face yet, and it worked really nicely for that. But this is in the shade Melon, and it is a beautiful shade. Now, again, I only know it from the swatch. And I'm gonna put a little drop on the back of my hand. Of course, the camera cuts off when I show you how much, but only that much, only a small droplet. And then I think I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques Duo Fiber Contour Brush. I love this for cream blush, so I'm gonna dip it in there. Put a bit on each cheek, and as you can see, a little bit of it packs a lot of color. And if you're into the whole Korean beauty slightly stained look, I'm pretty sure you can use a little bit on your lid and on your lips as well. As I mentioned, I tried that and it was beautiful. Now on this side it went a bit too high, so I'm going to just go back in with my foundation brush and pat it down. And in the summer I love cream products. I mean, I love them all year round, but it's always the summer when I tend to go more for these kind of products. And as you can see, there's still a decent amount of my hand, so that's where you can go in and just add a little bit to your lips if you want to. And it just gave it a little bit of color, and now you can build it up as much as you want. But now I'm gonna take it off because we'll have a lip product later. And yeah, I really like it. It's such a nice color. It instantly brightens the face. I would say this is more of a liquid blush rather than a cream, but it works beautifully, and I would love to try more colors. But this is the slightly brighter one in there that just screamed my name, and I didn't know you can get Flower Beauty in the UK. But now they sell a few of their products on Superdrug, so I would love to try more, but in this one, I just got this one because just like number 7 in Boots, I feel like they are on the higher end price of the drugstore. Now I don't know if it's the same in the US, but in the UK when I looked at the prices, they were all around the £10 mark, but it was a mascara. I think this one was around £11, so they were all on the higher end mark of the drugstore. Again, I don't know about in the US, but this blush is beautiful and it definitely makes me more excited to try more things. So why do I feel like this side is brighter? I think in the future I will definitely try more from them. But for now, let's move on, and I'm gonna powder down my complexion. And I'm gonna just tap out under my eyes. It did increase a lot, but you know, I'm not getting younger. I'm 27, so a few fine lines under my eyes are quite normal for me. And let's see, I'm gonna take this brush, which usually I use for blush. This again is from that Fake Face collection, and I got the Collection pressed powder in the shade 18 Ivory, and it just says it's an ultra rich powder enriched with silk and blended with moisturizers. Contains silk, vitamin E, and also UVA and UVB sunscreen. So this seems like it's going to be a good one for the summer. It just has a super clear lid. And apart from the concealers, I haven't really tried anything from the Collection range. Actually, I forgot. I have a tinted eyebrow gel from them, so maybe I can try that to tone this down. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, I'm excited. But first, let's powder. I don't want to overpower anything. Okay, it doesn't seem like it's overly mattifying, which is good, because those are the ones that can turn really quaky, cakey, not quaky, really quickly. If you look at my nose especially, that's where I built up a bit more, and while it toned down the shine, it's not overly powdery or matte, so I like that. A little bit under my eye, and although it seems to have a color, I would say it seems pretty translucent, so it's not going to be like a powder foundation at all. Most of these products, especially from e.l.f., are new. Now with the Collection powder, I don't think they didn't seem to have that many new launches, and also you will see with the bronzer and the blush later that some items that were new for some reason, especially with Superdrug, I mentioned it in the haul as well, they didn't let me get it delivered with some of the new launches, and I don't know why, because I was thinking of like picking up the new NYX bronzer and highlighter, but for some reason you couldn't get them to deliver it, and I don't have a Superdrug around me to go and pick it up, so you know, I just had to do with what I could. But most of these products are new launches, just not everything, but that's okay. Now next then I'm gonna go in with the Collection, again, Incredibrow, and I picked it up a while ago, but because I had a few eyebrow products open, I did not want to open it, but this is the video to do it. It has a lovely, fairly small brush, which will be the perfect size for the eyebrows, and it has an interesting silicone, I think it's a more correct pronunciation, It's an interesting silicone wand that might work perfectly as a mascara as well. That's what it reminds me of. And camera doesn't want to focus. There you go. So I think this will coat my brows perfectly. Now again, because I already have the soap on, I'm not sure how easy of a job this will have, but it seems really nice and cool toned. I tried the color on my hand in drugstore when I bought it. I bought it back in December. I just haven't opened it since because I had other products and I got it on my skin. Oh yeah, it definitely helps the redness. Good. It's small enough because of the silicone bristles. It catches the brows easily even after a soap brow, and it's nice and cool toned, so it tones down the redness. I'm super happy with this. I'm just gonna take the brush that I use on my eyelid with the concealer, because on this side I went a bit above. Now I'm excited that I remember that. Oh my god, I forgot about that. This seems incredible, and again, it's huge, so the Incredibrow gets a thumbs up from me, definitely. So far, I'm so happy with everything I tried. Bound to go bad, right? I don't know. Before we move on, I'm just gonna take both eyeshadow palettes and the shades that we use in the crease, so the lightest matte shades, I'm gonna blend out under my eyes with both of them, and then we can apply mascara. Okay, I think I'm also going to apply the brown eyeliner in my waterline, but first I wanted to add the mascara so we can just see what it does by itself. And I got the Gosh Bombastic Overdose Volume Mascara, and I generally really like volumizing mascaras. It has that, which I think it's either they are real or, yeah, I think it's the Benefit they are real that had a similar brush to it with like a little ball, spiky ball at the end. I quite like plastic applicators, but then one of my all-time favorites, the Too Faced mascara, the Better Than Sex, has like another more traditional wand, so we'll see. Let me just do one eye first. I'm gonna start with the bottom lash line. It grabs my lashes nicely. Okay, so that's one coat. I feel like it's making my lashes more curly, even though they are fairly curled to start with. Just zoomed in so it's easier to see. Just not bad. I'm gonna apply a coat on this eye as well, and then we're gonna apply a second coat to see how buildable this is. Okay, let's go back in with a second coat. I think it built up a little bit. Not massively, but a little bit. What do you think? I feel like it's going to be a nice everyday mascara, but it's not as nice as my Too Faced one. When it comes to drugstore mascaras, I'm missing my Maybelline ones, but Maybelline is not cruelty-free, whereas all these products are, so please leave your favorite cruelty-free mascara recommendations down below as well. I feel like it got my lashes stick together a little bit more on that side, but again, mascaras sometimes get a lot better as time goes on, so oops, wrong way, we'll see. It's not a bad mascara though. I mean, it definitely made my lashes stand a bit more, and even though it says it's volumizing, I feel it was more lengthening. Is it just me? I don't know, but yeah, it's not bad. We'll see as time goes on. I feel like it could be a really good everyday mascara when I don't want to use my Too Faced one, but I think I will still go for that one when I want that va-va-voom kind of effect. But I don't hate this, and you could build it up definitely, and with time it might get a bit more tacky so my lashes don't stick together as much, but it definitely lengthened them. I'm not sure about the volumizing side, funnily enough, even though it's a volumizing mascara, but it's nice. Let me just apply the brown liner in my waterline, and then we move on to the rest of the cheek. Alright, I found fault with this pencil. It doesn't work in the waterline a lot. It did a little bit of something, but not a lot, but I'm gonna match it up either way. It's perfect though to smudge it on the top lash line, or just to give a little bit of, you know, extra something to the look. For that it's perfect, but it's not one for the waterline. So if you like your pencils in the waterline, this is not going to be it. Although number 7 does beautiful pencils for the waterline, although the colors are not that many. But you know, if you want something from the drugstore, those are great. Alright, it added a little bit of color, but more than anything it just made my eyes water. They are not happy lately when I put something in my waterline. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or it's because I haven't done it for a while and I'm trying to get back into it. But anyway, that's for another day. When it comes to cheeks, as I mentioned, I wanted to get the new bronzer and highlighter from NYX. I don't know what they're called. I'm going to put them on the screen, but I couldn't. So I got this, which is fairly new, not the newest, but fairly new, and it supports a YouTuber, and this is the Revolution Patricia Bright face palette, and I got the shade Moon Glow, which is the lightest one as far as I know, and it has a bronzer which is fairly cool tone, so I think you can actually contour with it, a beautiful pink blush and a highlighter. So first I'm gonna go in with this brush that I got as well, and I mentioned in the haul as well that this was the only thing I actually used and I love it. It's a Real Techniques contour brush. I'm not sure from which collection, but again, I can put it on the screen. And oh my god, it's so good. So I'm gonna go in with the contour shade, which could be a bronzer shade, but it looks like a fairly cool tone bronze. The color reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. And apply it there. Okay, that was a bit too heavy-handed. And on the skin it doesn't look that cool tone, but it's okay. We will blend it. And let me grab the brush that we use for the powder and blend it even more, because I was a bit heavy-handed, clearly. Nice color though. Super pigmented, which I was clearly not expecting. So you don't need a lot. A little bit there. And blend it down the neck. What I like to do as well, I like to take a bigger brush. Now with these pens, they're not that huge, but I can still fit it in there. And just bring the bronzer down my neck, because I'm super pale. I'm going in with a lot lighter hand on the other side. This could be beautiful in the crease of the eyes as well. I like to apply a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And that's a lot more bronzed than what I wanted, but now I have to even out the other side. And I'd like to apply bronzer here, not necessarily because I think my forehead is huge. I think it's quite a normal size forehead. But if I don't put any bronzer here, I feel like I'm too pale. So that's why I like to apply bronzer there. Bit on my temple. This brush, definite winner. You just have to make sure that you don't go in as much with these as I did. Then for the blush, I'm gonna use again, or actually no, why not switch it up and dirty all my brushes in one? So I'm gonna go with this. I think it's from like a really old Japanese kit. It used to have like flowers on the handle, but there's a gun now. And we're gonna dip it in the blush shade and apply, oh, a lot of fallout. But if it's like as pigmented as the bronzer, then a brush like this is perfect because it's super fluffy, so it doesn't pick up that much product. Yep, super pigmented again. Just apply mostly on the apple and blend it out. Really nice. This side always looks a bit darker, but I think it's because even though I sit in front of the window, the biggest size of the window is that way, so there's just more light coming in from there. But I swear I put the same amount on both sides. That color just makes you look awake instantly. It's quite similar in that sense to the Flower Beauty one, but look at the kickback. It's quite intense. What's my camera doing, you think? Thank you, that took a long time. Now for the highlighter, do I want to go in with this brush? No! Let's go with this brush, which is the Blanca Cosmetics F28. I use this quite often for highlighting. And I'm gonna dip in the highlighter shade. Ooh, okay. Oh my god. Now on camera, it looks nice from what I can see in the viewfinder. I would say in real life it's a bit more silver than what I want. I would have liked a bit more of maybe a peachiness or pinkiness to it, so it would have gone beautifully with that blush. But I mean, if you're really fair, you're gonna love it. And even though I'm quite fair, I don't think I'm that fair. I'm gonna try to tone it down a bit. Yeah, that helped. It's super pigmented though. I just feel like it's a bit more cool toned than I like my highlighters to be. I want it a bit more champagne-y. It's super blingy though, so if you like an intense highlight, this will do it for sure. I mean, look at that glow. And that's just the smallest touch of the brush. I'm impressed with that. I tried one highlighter from Revolution before, and that one did not wow me at all. It's one of the baked highlighters, and I'm a bit confused with that concept. I don't know what that's doing. But this one is nice. So I'm gonna just take a small brush as well. It's just a teeny tiny flat brush, and apply it in the inner corner and on the brow bone on both eyes. Oh, for that, I'm gonna tell you, it's perfect. And if you do a cool toned eye look, oh, this will be amazing. Or I might like it even a bit more if I only use a bronzer, but against the pink it seems a lot more cool tone. I mean, the pink is not that warm either, but just feel like it's a bit too silver, but I can't deny it. I prefer it on that side. I think I managed to be a bit more natural, but even in real life I feel like it's still a little bit more cool tone than what I like. But the other two I love, and this one, I don't know, I'm still deciding on it, but for the inner corner and the brow bone I really like it. Although it goes obviously a lot better with the green than it does with that burgundy. It's a beautiful blingy highlight though. The formula I can't fault, it's more just the color that I'm not too sure about. But altogether, I'm really happy with this. And again, I couldn't get the newer products, so I went with this. Supporting a YouTuber, I used to watch Patricia Bright a lot back in the day. I have to admit, I'm not doing it as much lately. But this one is beautiful. It's quite nice. It has a nice size mirror, so it's quite good to travel with. Now, it doesn't have the really nice click. It's not too satisfying, but, you know, it's nice. I think it could be really good to travel with. Altogether, it looks really sleek and really minimalistic, but in a nice, understated way. I love how it looks. I just missed a satisfying click. But I love the bronzer, I love the brush, and I love the formula of the highlighter, just not the color. And then the last two products, three actually, I have two are for lips, and this one seemed a lot more muted online, but hey ho. It's the Revolution Satin Kiss Lip Liner in the shade Cutie. So I'm gonna go in with this first, and it reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury lip pencils, of how it's built. And it has like this plasticky outside with the super creamy looking, at least, top. Hold on, let me take off my lip balm. So let's see if it feels as much Charlotte Tilbury as it looks. Yeah, it does. Yeah, maybe if you don't want to splurge on Charlotte Tilbury lip liners, check these out in a drugstore. It feels and even looks super similar, but these have color-coded lids, whereas those ones don't. But so far I'm really happy with it. It feels a lot like Charlotte Tilbury too. It glides in easily on the lips, but I would say check them out in real life, because it doesn't look like the color I thought I'm getting. Also, if you can see little bits of moustache, sorry, I'm trying to grow them enough so I can wax them off quickly, so, you know, let's just deal with it. And then I have the e.l.f. lip lacquer in the shade, what's the shade? Wild Rose. And I think this is supposed to be a lip gloss. So let's see, I'm not sure how much it's going to work with the lip liner, but we're going to blend them together. Ah, yeah. It has a really sheer color to it. I think it's supposed to be one of those like almost oily, slick lip products. It's a teeny tiny bit sticky, but not annoyingly so. The applicator is quite easy to work with as well. It's quite long, but it picks up enough product so you can work with it nicely. As you can see, it's quite long. It picks up enough product, and because the end of it is rounded, it's quite nice to go around the edges of your lips with it. And it's not overly sticky. And I really like the color as well. It just brings in a little bit of color. I call these colors like typical girl next door, where it's quite cute, but nothing too strong. It goes with many different looks. And now all we have left to do is to use a setting spray. This is the Revolution Glass Glow Fix Ultimate Glow Dewy Fixing Spray. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the packaging reminds me of the back one. I mean, it's a bit more green, but it has the same sort of sheen to it in my head, and they're both dewy. But this one you can't start your makeup with, whereas this one is a prep and set kind of spray. So we'll see, and I don't think this one has skincare in it. Fix your makeup with this perfectly dewy finish fixing spray. Now, thankfully this doesn't look like it has glitter in it. That's my biggest pet peeve, when someone says it's like a dewy setting spray, like the Cover FX illuminating setting spray, and then it just leaves bits of glitter on your face. I don't want that. I love glitter, but I only want it where I put it, so you know, not in a setting spray. And it seems like it has a fine mist. I tried it in the haul. Yeah, so let's go. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the scent is not as nice as on the Becca one. It reminds me of like when you're at the doctor's and they have that clean smell. For some reason, like dentist. Reminds me of the dentist. Is it a good thing? I'm not sure, but did it make my makeup more dewy? Not sure it did. Maybe a little bit, but it didn't make it more matte either. Now, I feel like this could be a great product if you feel like you over powder your face, but so far I'm really happy. If I zoom you in closer, like the makeup almost started to settle a little bit in this side, not on that side interestingly, and maybe on my forehead a little bit, but it doesn't look super powdery. It just looks really nice and smooth in here. So I think the primer definitely did its job. What do you think? So this is the finished makeup after the whole full face of everything new from, you know, not a drugstore but affordable makeup. I'm super happy with how this turned out. Now again, I liked everything in here. If not the color, then the texture of everything I tried is really good. The only thing I would say that from, again, the foundation, I had to use a lot more than what I normally use, which I'm not too sure what that's about. I loved the eyeshadow, the eyebrow pencil thing. The color, though, is a lot too warm for me. Same with the highlighter. I love the formula and how glowy this is. It's just a touch more cool toned than how I like mine. But the formula of it is amazing, and everything else I'm really happy with, I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like this was all around a success. Now, these two eyeshadows, in the next 2 weeks I'm gonna feature each of these in my Use Them shadows, because I feel like, you know, I should play around with them a lot more and create different eyes. But I think for £3 you can't fool them at all. I mean, look at that glow on my eyes. And again, my skin is looking good. So I'm happy. Now I can finally put these products away because they've been waiting on the side of my table for the past week. And I'm super happy with how this makeup looks. So I'm gonna go now because I think this video is already long. I hope you're having a lovely day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. It would mean so much to me. But for now I'm gonna go. Let me know what you think, and bye bye.